Welcome to Sol Brothers with my dear friend Eno and myself, Simon, where it is our job to throw you into the Solana rabbit hole.
Our mission is to take you on the latest and greatest so that you never run out of fun things to talk about. Simon, I am loving your merch stack right now. You got the Flash Trade on top. You got Sol over here. We're just missing some Solflare. I mean, we got Solflare on the phones, I suppose. I should have worn Solflare today.
There's the jacket. I'm missing the jacket. Actually, Quix is jumping around somewhere in this building with a Solflare college jacket, which is actually really cool. So I should get a hold of that one. Did you see it?
Yeah, I actually did see that. Yeah, the Letterman's jacket. It looks very, very nice. It's also just in certain parts of the world, especially Singapore, way too hot to wear. But
bro, I could make probably use of it now that I'm in Europe and we're heading into autumn and winter. So probably have to find one. I'm low on jackets these days. Just coming from Singapore, my suitcase is literally just t-shirts.
Right.
But anyway, we are here yet again, live streaming an episode and obviously recording as well for our listeners on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube, or wherever you want to take a glance at Sol Brothers. And today, we do have a packed agenda, and the big keyword today is BTC all-time high, because we're just coming out of a weekend. And I think for the first time in history, we made an all-time high on Bitcoin on a weekend, not even during the week, on a weekend where people normally, fucking touch grass. And secondly, it is kind of the most quiet all-time high we ever had. No flashy headlines. My timeline kind of looks okay. Nothing is. It's a bit weird, this cycle, as we all know. Did you even fully realize that we made an all-time high on Bitcoin?
No, I didn't even fucking know that we had hit a new Bitcoin all-time high.
You see, and you're working in this industry, like what the?
Yeah, right. So we do have a packed agenda and a limited time to do it. So we're going to hop right into the cozies part of the podcast, which is, of course, Simon's TA. Simon always does a wonderful technical analysis of all the shit that's going on this week. And we're going to start with, what is this asset? It's Sol. We're going with Sol today.
we're looking at first at the chart, and then I have two more data points that I wanted to share as well today, outside of the charts that are also interesting to look at, especially now going into October. Now, obviously, historically, October is usually an up month. You can see that on the charts if you zoom out a little bit and you look in the last cycles. October is usually green, especially on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin dominance usually rises in October, while the altcoins, kind of pull with it as well, but not as much as BTC. Let's see how it plays out this month, but Solana is holding up quite well right now. We did see a pretty sharp decline from the last high at $250, which is right now, I think, the main resistance, the upcoming resistance. It's around $250. From there, we did see a pretty sharp decline just over the course of a few days, really, into the $190 region. And then I labeled this as a wave 4 correction in this green 1, 2, 3, 4 setup right here. And it already obviously hit the 0.786 fib level, which is the last possible resort for wave 4. So if we are going up from here, that would be my preferred scenario right now, which I also assign the highest probabilities to. Because you see the fib level was actually reached pretty neatly, as we kind of did a lot of times this cycle, honestly, in the past weeks. The fib levels usually work here. Even the wave 3 extension at the 1.38 here was pretty neatly hit as well. So it kind of textbook Elliott wave in fib level counts here on the charts. The question now is, where are we heading next? And I know you want to know it. I know everyone wants to know it, and I do not have the answer. But what I can tell you is that it looks like we are in this green 1, 2, 3 scenario right now, where we have a 4th subwave here inside this larger 5th wave to the upside, right? So right now, as I told you many times before, 4th wave usually goes sideways, bit choppy. It can be a triangle as well, which almost looks like a triangle forming here, actually. Haven't put it on the chart yet, but you could draw some lines. And this 4th wave might have already, it could be completed because we reached some fib levels that are relevant for it. So those are the red zone here. And this is right now, I think, the most important resistance zone, not resistance, support zone that we're looking at, which is between $228-ish and $217. So as long as we're holding this support here, I favor the green scenario of a 5-wave move to the upside to complete this 5th wave overall here. So for this, we need to see a breakout now, a new high above the $236. And then if we also go through the $239, this would further invalidate the red count on my chart, which is the alternative scenario, which I assign a lower probability to, which would be an ABC correction that's not done yet, right, from the last high, from the $250. So that means we could see one more sharp decline to the downside in the C wave. So that is a probability. So if you're trading this, then keep in mind that if we are losing the support, then you might want to take the loss instead of letting your long go all the way down and being liquidated, because we don't know how low it could go. Because if we're breaking this level here, the $190, then we could revisit $170 levels as well, right? In a bear case, but it looks not too bad, right now. Again, I'm favoring the upside right now. Solana has been doing higher highs and higher lows over the course of the last weeks. So I think we could see another push to the upside. Make sense, Do you feel confident about prices going up here, or are you? Do you feel?
I always feel confident about prices going up over a long enough time horizon, which is the biggest non-answer you're going to get from me, huh?
That is very wise. That's very wise, I said. Let me give you another stat here. So if you're still looking at my screen right now, then you can see here a very interesting chart actually, which is the cycle length of the Bitcoin price over the course of the last decade, really, almost since 2015, right? So 10 years. So usually the length here is always the same length. I think it's around what was it, 460 days or some shit. Like it's it is a pretty long time horizon. And as you can see right now, as of today, end of 2025, we are basically in that target zone, where historically the last 3 times Bitcoin has found its all-time high in that area. Does it mean we need to find an all-time high right now here again? No. Does it look like it? Pretty much, because we just made an all-time high. We are in the zone, right? Market conditions kind of look like we could go a bit further, but then at some point we need to top. So we're getting into a range right now where Bitcoin could actually make a new all-time high and then stop right there and go down from there. So that is something to keep in mind, honestly, in the midterm, I would say. And then one more chart that I want to give you here is the monthly returns for USDT dominance. So what does that mean? That is Tether, the biggest stablecoin we have in crypto. And what does it mean when the dominance of USDT goes down? Well, it means that liquidity flows into assets, right? Other assets.
Yes.
So usually risk on. So Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, altcoins, right? And do you see anything that is interesting here on that chart?
I don't know. Kind of looks like fucking Uptober.
Exactly. So you're spot on. It is really interesting to see that October is historically, since 10 years, the only month that has been seeing only downside for USDT dominance. And of course, you can say, well, this time is different. Like it doesn't mean history doesn't mean the future needs to be the same. But I think 10 years in a row, USDT dominance going down, there must be some sort of pattern. So I think that's actually a very interesting data point to look at. And I suspect that 225 is going to be as well a USDT dominance down month, which means we're going to see inflows in Bitcoin, Solana, and other charts. And we can see it already now because we fucking did a new all-time high on Bitcoin in the first week of October. So yeah, those are the data points I wanted to share here with everyone to give a little bit of insights into markets where we stand today as of the 6th of October.
Thank you so much for sharing your weekly TA, Simon. I'm really, really glad to see that we're headed into yet another bullish season for crypto, it seems.
Let's go.
That being, but this is not financial advice, everybody. But moving on, it's not just Bitcoin and that we're looking at. Obviously, Solana is making some major moves. So what exactly am I talking about? Well, so one update for Solana is that we have 2 billion new stablecoins minted on the chain. So we're at an all-time high for stablecoin growth on Solana. So even though we're talking about the inverse relationship between USDT dominance versus liquidity into different assets, it's slightly different for this because we're not talking about US like stablecoin dominance in crypto in general. Like what we're talking about is like whether or not there are stablecoins even deployed.
Solana.
This is Solana, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And that's good because more stablecoins issued on chain means that there's more liquidity that can be deployed into DeFi or otherwise, or just more buying opportunities for assets. It also just kind of, I think, generally speaking, signals, bullishness on the chain, right? Like, is this a chain that I want to be investing in or not? Like, am I going to deploy capital here?
I mean,
so yeah,
stables are yield-seeking instruments in crypto. Why the fuck do you hold stables on a blockchain? You don't hold them there to have them sit around. Like then you can park your money in a bank or something right now. You get yield, right? So they have to be deployed either they're going to be rotated into assets, so buy orders, or they're going to be deployed into DeFi protocols, yielding some return and increasing TVL on chain and making protocol revenues and so on. So the lifeblood of Solana are stablecoins.
Yeah. And a really interesting stat that I had never heard of before is that 60% of all tokenized stocks are on Solana. So Solana is clearly winning the RWA, the stocks. Yeah. The on-chain stocks game. And also we have upgrades with like Alpenglow and Firedancer, which are two competing they're not really protocols. They're more like they're products of Anza and Jump respectively. So yeah. Anyways, there are major upgrades to the network that are coming. Is the point?
Yep. Tech is being improved. Latency is being improved. Bandwidth is being improved. Everything is going up. More transactions per second in the future on Solana is kind of inevitable, which will increase the usability of the chain, i.e., more assets on chain and so on. So it's all a big kind of spiral upwards.
I really love this next piece of news that we have, which isn't even news. It feels like a culture building moment. Our good friend Victor over at Rockaway X, is helping spread the gospel of like Solana is still early, but like we lead on all metrics. And in fact, he gives us a new resource called whysolana.com. I actually think that I'll be using this in some of my conversations with our friends, right? This is really cool. So like, we do lead on many, many metrics, but the price of Solana lags behind those metrics, which is fine because on a long enough time horizon, doesn't matter. But yeah, they have this really, really nifty doc provided by Rockaway X, Solana infrastructure for digital finance. Basically, I mean, like Rockaway X obviously has their own validator, and they're in conversations with, they have their own DAT as well called Soulmates or Soulmate over in the UAE. And if you're running a validator or you're running a DAT, it makes a lot of sense to explain to people like why Solana the asset, because like why the hell would you put money into a Solana DAT unless you have a thesis on the underlying asset itself. So yeah, they have this really nifty deck that they've created as to like why you should be bullish on Solana. And the slide that he likes to highlight is that Solana is still early, but we lead on basically every single conceivable metric.
Yeah, check it out if you still feel like you don't understand why Solana is going up and is the future. I actually sent this to some of my friends that are not in crypto yet but are interested in it. And I just sent a report and I'm like, bro, check it out. If you don't get Solana yet, after reading this, you'll get it. Great resource.
Bro, I was having a family dinner last night, and I also had a family breakfast this morning because it is the Korean holidays. And, last night, my 85-year-old uncle, was talking about stable coins and for his own business. He wasn't even talking about it in the context of investment. He was like, look, if I have a vendor in the United States, like sending money from Korea to the US is very difficult. It just makes a lot more sense to close the deal through stable coins. And I was like, holy shit.
Wait a second. Why do you, first of all, why do you have an 85-year-old grandpa that's having a business doing business with the US? Why is this man not retired?
He is in love with the game. I suspect that we will also be doing Soul Brothers when we're 85, and the answer to that question is quite obvious.
Man, he must be super fit. I'm happy about that.
He actually is, like, dude is like 6'4" and like skinny as a whip. It's crazy. He's still mentally there. He dyes his hair black. It's hilarious. But
fucking chat.
Right. And then even this morning, my for the first time ever, my father-in-law was like, okay, so what's going on in Solana? And I'm like, whoa, what is going on right now? Top signal?
Guys,
question
top
mark?
Not yet.
So next up in the Solana ecosystem, we're going to be talking about some nifty launches that are coming to the chain. Actually, this last product was launched 8 months ago. It's called Collateralize, and specifically what they do is they provide. They're trying to call this collateral coins, but essentially all it is tokenizing illiquid RWAs. I don't know what about their offering specifically makes them different from any other RWA play, but I am very curious, like what Collateralize needs to a new engine of participation, enabling anyone to mint on. Okay, so it's so what makes it different now is going to be permissionless RWA minting, which is like interesting. Like how do you do yeah?
It's pretty cool. They can go out there and just tell people to tokenize their shit. Basically, that's what's happening, and they're helping them to do it on chain, right? You have to if you are a business that is, I don't know, having some commodity or some valuable items in a garage, right, or whatever, then you have no idea how to tokenize this shit, right? Like it's not your business. You don't know what a liquidity pool even is. So I think they're going to help you with that stuff, and then they'll help you to get it off the ground. They help you to put in a liquidity pool, and then once you have your assets tokenized, you can obviously they're liquid, they're tradable. You can earn fees on the volume when they trade, so you can make some money on them, and you can even probably kind of lend against it, borrow against it. So pretty cool.
Bro, is this a fucking RWA token launchpad? That's fucking sick. It's like instead of meme coins, it's an RWA. Dude, you're talking about like creator fees.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Essentially, right?
I didn't put the pieces together.
Like replace funding goal with bonding curve. So like each RWA that reaches its blank will receive will have a meteor or a mirror liquidity pool. This is exactly a token launchpad, but for RWAs. This is very sick. I like this. This is interesting.
Yeah. Shout out to Collateralize.
What's like a illiquid RWA that you think would be super interesting to have tokenized? We already have uranium.
People always talk about like shit like old timer cars and kind of wine. We actually have products that do that, right? Wine, expensive wines, jewelry. I don't know, like just expensive assets, I guess. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if I'm forgetting something, but I think I actually met the founder. I need to check my facts again. But I think I actually met the founder. So Collateralize. Yeah, shout out to Pierre Antoine PA. He launched his token on Pump.fun, and it's a utility token. Which is crazy, and it performed out really well. It's not a meme coin. It doesn't even have a pump thingy at the end. He made sure that it doesn't have a pump.
There's no pump in the address.
So people can't see it's a pump token, but it is. So he just launched it on Pump.fun, and it performed really, really well. It got listed on Maxi and all the exchanges without him asking anyone. So a really interesting person actually to talk to. Maybe we can get PA on the pod sometime and talk about Collateralize and his token launch story and so on. But enough from Collateralize, enough from PA. What else do we have?
Yeah, so 00, as everybody already knows, has launched, over the last week. We have this beautiful video that was created by our friend Will, and he's just highlighting all of the different points related to 00, which includes over 300 validators that are already on the network, as well as 40 different points, geolocations around the world. They obviously have released the DZ token like everywhere, not just on chain, but also off chain. There's a balance there. Like if you do fully on chain, it fits our ethos, but it also literally means like you're going to have less volume and interest in the token because most retail is, whether we like it or not, they prefer a centralized exchange experience. Hence the need for products like JupeNet. That's a tangent. But my point is that 00 now officially launched, has the 2Z token, and this is a nice little breakdown on Will based on like all the things that we're seeing with 00.
What did you think about the token launch, by the way? I mean, the product is sick, but what did you think about any opinions or anything from your circle of trust from people that told you their opinions on DZ, on the token?
I mean, dude, it was masterfully done. I mean, what else do you want? Like, if you look at the playbook of what you want from a token launch, which is like a mixture of on-chain, accountability, but off-chain interest, uh,
Yeah.
they did exactly what they did the playbook perfectly. They had it coordinated like in a single day. They got announced all the Korean exchange listings. They announced like Binance. They announced, I mean, like literally what I mean. If you could get a launch like
Can't
that
get
for
bigger than
Solid,
this.
yeah, no, it
Yeah.
it literally does not get bigger than this. It's like literally the most textbook TGE I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And I mean, even the SEC gave them a letter.
Oh, right.
Stating something.
Yeah.
So
Even
put that into.
yes.
Yeah.
I actually tell the people more about this no action letter, Simon.
I mean, it's like insane. It's the first time ever that the SEC issues a statement related to one asset, one token, just 0.0, signed by the commissioner, and it says this token is not a security and it won't be security. How much more certainty can you get that your token is not a security? Not possible, impossible. So it's true. The only caveat here is that they launched at a fucking high FDV as fuck. So kind of the direction of the token was kind of predetermined after launch, which was down because you cannot hold a $15 billion valuation in a crypto asset right now. It just doesn't work. So from 15 it went down to like 4.32, and now it's kind of consolidating somewhere to find its fair value, which is not at 4 billion, but it will probably find itself somewhere there because it was launched so well, right? So overall positive, but I understand that a lot of people are critical about it right now, and they say, oh, insider trading, market makers, people team dumped and shit. Everyone was locked, no one dumped. I'm pretty sure about that. So it is just, if you launch at such a high FDV, people will take profits, period, and then price goes down.
Yep.
So that's it. But enough of 0.0. I think it probably deserves a full EP at some point with Austin Federa to talk about 0.0 and its product, and not only about the token. But we do have a token on Solana that is actually really interesting, and that token is literally just reflecting the value of gold. You know what am I talking about?
Yes. So our very good friend Usman, who's the co-founder of Oro, has announced a partnership with Meteora, in which you can buy Oro tokens from the Oro website. Yes, because it's gold, it requires KYC. But then after you receive your gold, you can use it in liquidity pools, on Meteora. So against, is it any asset or select assets? I forget.
I mean, the LP right now is just probably Sol.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, a few caveats to the token itself. It's pretty straightforward. You want gold exposure, and you don't want to do it anywhere else but on chain. Then Oro is the place to do it. You can swap on Jupiter permissionless, or you can buy Oro directly with them on their profile or on their page. Then it's KYC gated though. And the cool thing is that it like there's a yield being generated for the gold as well, because they do a lot of off-chain, almost like gold TradFi shit in the background that generates yield, which I couldn't explain because I'm not a gold guy. I don't know what happens in the gold market where you can generate yields from, but they're basically it's explained in the docs. Check out the docs of Oro and wait for Usman to be on the show to understand how it works in detail. But all you need to know is that you can trade gold on chain now, and you can actually yield from your gold as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just passed $1 billion in, what was the announcement I saw in TVL on Oro? That would be pretty big, right? 1 billion. Let me just
$1 billion?
Quick.
Are you serious?
No, wait. Before I say
that's like
$1 million.
That's a lot, my friend.
Sorry. Yeah. I take it back. $1 million. Slow down, Simon. $1 million TVL in Oro right now. So the first milestone is hit gold on Solana.
Yeah, tokenized gold, very bullish. I think that in the same way that you want Bitcoin the asset on Solana the infrastructure, you also want gold the asset on Solana the infrastructure. The logic is not any different for me. And speaking of interesting things that are going to be coming up very, very soon, Simon, we have, of course, the first live stream with Solflare, hosted, of course, by our friends SolQuix, who you might have saw on our last stream. He did a little cameo. And of course, we have Meteora as well as Tap Fintech that would be joining this live stream. This confuses me a little bit because Solflare actually has quite a few streams, right? So like in what sense? How is it?
There's only one. There's one Solflare live stream. That's the one. So there's one. It's called Solflare Live, and it's hosted by Solquix, and that's where you've been on, and that's where Meteora is going to be on as well.
Okay.
So that's the whole series, yeah. And it's been 11 episodes so far.
I am a fucking idiot. It's not the first Solflare Live. It's the 11th Solflare Live. I didn't see. Yes. Yeah. I'm dumb. Yes. I really much.
Oh, good, bro. You had a long day. You're not done yet, even. So cut the guy some slack. It's the 11th live stream of Solflare, and it's coming today actually. So if you are listening to our live right now, then you are able to join it. And if you are listening to our podcast on a recording on podcast channels on YouTube or on Twitter, then you will be able to rewatch the live stream if you're interested in understanding Meteora well, because they will have some Meteora special guests on the show that will do a little deep dive into how Meteora works for the Solflare community. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And if you don't want to make a live stream, but you actually want to go to a live event, which can also be quite fun. Our friends over at SNS are working with APU BCC, and I believe APU stands for Asia Pacific University. I could be very stupid though. And we're just going to double check, click on this Luma here. The event is set for the next. Yes, I was correct. I'm not that dumb. Asia Pacific, Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation. So this is a club, obviously in Malaysia. And the event will be, on October 10th from 6:45 p.m. to 9 p.m. So
that's so cool, man.
They do a lot of activations over in Malaysia. So well, very, very
But it's in an auditorium in a university, and they're going to talk about Solana names, domains on Solana network. We need to break into universities more. I feel like I don't see enough of this when it comes to Solana stuff. We need to get the students that they should fucking care about Solana. It's the future of the internet.
Students are exactly the demographic that you want to speak to the most directly, because I remember when I was a college student and Bank of America made me open my first bank account there and then issued my first debit card. I used it for over a decade, right? Because it was just so sticky. I'm already locked into your bank. I'm already locked into your debit card. So why else would I use anything else? Yeah.
Okay, Solflare.
We should do the same thing.
We're gonna. I think actually Solflare is really active in kind of Web2 circles already. They go to a lot of kind of internet conferences and so on. But I think universities. I'm gonna double check with them what strategy they have, because I think onboarding students to Solana via Solflare wallet and giving them a card in their hands to spend their crypto. Pretty cool, because with Solflare, it's the thing. You can do everything with Solflare, yield, spending, and so on. But we do have one more last milestone that we want to share with everyone that is related to our friends and sponsors from FlashTrade.
Yes. So our friends and sponsors at FlashTrade have earned another $130,000 in staking yield because of all the SOL in the pool is Jito SOL. They are, yes.
So you get yield on the pool, and then the pool gets yield on the SOL as well, because the SOL is not SOL, it is Jito SOL. So it's an LST. So for everyone who, who's like, okay, what does that mean? They don't have SOL in their pools, they have Jito SOL in their pools.
So
shouldn't they have
congratulations.
Maybe INF in their pools? Interesting, or something.
I think that they should have their own LST. I want to see Flash SOL, but we'll talk about that later. Maybe someday.
I think things have been mentioned internally. There's no precise plans, obviously, but there are some thoughts, I think, on that topic inside of the FlashTrade team. Maybe we can tickle some details out of them at some point when it comes to their take on LST for themselves. But yeah, guys, that has been your intro to the week. Little look at the markets, at the charts, and a quick update on Solana projects and launches. Not too much has happened over the weekend. We streamed on Friday, but you will see us again already on Thursday. So if you join the live streams, then you get all these details right when they happen. And if you don't have time to join the live streams, then you can always watch it on YouTube, because we're posting fairly timely after the stream on YouTube, and also on our other channels on X, Instagram, and podcasts. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you at the next one when it's time again for Sol Brothers to give you the recap of the last days. Until then, you have a good start to the week. Peace out.
Adios. Bye.
Okay, this is a cut. now we have 2 more quick timer reactions, and then we can
Okay.
call
Do you
it
want
a
to
day.
do Bitcoin and gold, or do you want to do U.S.
Sure.
government is in shutdown?
Let me do U.S. government because I wrote that, so maybe it's easier for me to read.
Cool.
Live stream folks, you know what's happening. We're just recording 2 shorts for YouTube and Instagram. Let's go,
3, 2, 1. Both Bitcoin and gold have just set. Fuck. I always fuck up the first take. All right, we'll try this again. 3, 2, 1. Both Bitcoin and gold just set new all-time high records. It's been a historical week for both assets. Bitcoin surged to an all-time high of $125,000, driven by strong ETF inflows, institutional demand, and a growing belief in crypto. It's fuck. Okay.
Growing belief that crypto is fuck. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Both Bitcoin and gold just hit new all-time highs. It's been a historic week for both assets. Bitcoin surged to an all-time high of $125,000, driven by strong ETF inflows, institutional demand, and growing belief that crypto is here to stay. Gold, on the other hand, hit a record of $3,900 per ounce as investors turn to safe haven assets amid global uncertainty and liquidity shifts.
Nice. Okay. Next one. 3, 2, 1. The US government is in shutdown. The US government is in shutdown mode as of October 1st, and it's the first time in nearly 7 years. Congress hit a wall on funding the government. Republicans want cuts, Democrats want to protect programs. No deal means shutdown. It's day 6 and counting, with workers unpaid, public services like national parks are closed, and important economic data like job reports are delayed. So this could actually be a reason why capital is now fleeing into safe havens like Bitcoin or gold. Take 2, and then we're done. 1, 2, 3. The US government is in shutdown mode as October. The US government is in shutdown mode as of October 1st, which is the first time in nearly 7 years. Congress hit a wall on funding the government. Republicans want cuts. Democrats want to protect programs. No deal means shutdown. It's day 6 and counting, with workers unpaid, public services like national parks are closed, and important economic data like job reports are delayed. This could be a reason why capital is fleeing into Bitcoin and gold. Okay. Woo. Okay, Josh.
Thanks, Simon. Love you.
To cut. Thanks, for jumping on. And thanks, everyone, for tuning into the live streams. We'll see you at the next one. Stay tuned, guys. We're ending this right now because we got shit to do. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.